Yo, what up, guys? So, Prydwen actually did get updated kind of recently, and I'm feeling a little bit better. I'm still sick for sure, but I wanted to push out a video just to not leave you guys hanging. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to leave you guys hanging. I wanted to give some content out still because I really do want to actually get into the Wuthering Wastes content creation or just content creation in general. I enjoy it. It's very fun. I enjoy giving my opinion, voicing my opinion, and talking about the things that I nerd out about, right? Like Pokemon and all that. I'm not going to get into too much of that, but we did get some updates, and a lot of these are very questionable, very, very, very questionable. And we can see one on the screen. I'm gonna just go right here. Jeji should not be T0. She should be knocked down about right here probably, because Jeji is only with Carlotta and Jinshi, and that's it. I mean, she just doesn't have enough versatility compared to these other units. And also she's Carlotta DPS wise is not one of the highest in the game. She's just very easy to play. She's got good DPS, but she's just very consistent and easy to play. It's kind of the best benefit. Augusta makes sense. She's T0, new unit, and she's very strong. With Uno also in T0, you know, the partner, very strong together. Carter Thea always been strong, over 80k DPS, like close to 2 million DPR almost, so very strong. And we're looking at, this is like premium because this is with signatures, so I'd rather look at with signatures than without, because it just you know, when the SIGs are guaranteed, you kind of expect people to have SIGs. I mean, it's kind of an unfortunate reality, but Camellia being in 0.5. Oh, Zani, I didn't touch him. Zani should also be in a tier of her own, if we're being honest. Zani's just that good, you know, at a competitive level. She just 4 Nightfalls, Astro over Phoebe, and just blows everything up. For reference, she had like a 31-second run that wasn't posted because it was like a hacker, but the genuine run that somebody had was 36 seconds by Eugene, and he's actually pretty cracked. And that was with Spectro Res up and a heavy bonus, to be fair, 30% heavy bonus, but kind of cancels each other out. But still on par pretty much with Augusta, despite the Spectro Res. Phoebe in 0.5, really haven't seen enough of her main DPS potential ever since release. Honestly, since Zani came out, I've just not seen main DPS Phoebe. It just kind of disappeared, but she is probably still solid. I mean, in TOA, I mean, you only really have a boss usually, and I mean, multi-wave, she's kind of struggles a little bit. You have to quick swap between her and Rover, but it is what it is. For Lova, 0.5 makes sense. She takes long to ramp up, but when she does ramp up, she does a lot of damage, which with the new floors they've added, they actually you take 2 minutes and 30 seconds to actually clear, which lets her get off an extra rotation. But Jinshi still hanging on 0.5. I really can't tell if they're targeting casual players or competitive players sometimes. I feel like she should be T1 with an expert tag. I don't think Camellia should be 0.5 for TOA. I really don't. Camellia should not be on Frolova's level at R1. Maybe if we're looking... Okay. That makes more sense. But still, she should be T1 with Sig, too. Bottom of 0.5 or like up here. Yeah, bottom of 0.5. It don't make sense to put Camellia. I mean, it's in alphabetical order. It doesn't make sense to put Camellia with these guys, really. Except, I guess, Gian. Gian and Camellia are kind of the same. Brant, main DPS is not. Gian should be bumped up. Gian should be bumped up. Or at least give him expert tag. Because, you know, Yao is a 0.5 with expert tag, which makes sense. He's great with quick swap. Encore, solid standard DPS, nothing crazy. Have a Grover 1.5 main DPS. It makes sense, because this is not with Frolova, I'm assuming. You're not assuming Frolova with him. If you're assuming Frolova with him, probably T1. Cacharo, Buns, but kind of good if you can play him well. Chixia, Buns, but has Monofusion, my goats, so it'll be good. I don't know, those characters, They don't need, I haven't, like, I don't know, from the last time I seen those characters, so I don't know their names. Yeah. We have Brant, top of the chain right here, my goat. You know, expert on Chang Li, no expert on Lupa. Doesn't really make sense because their best team includes Lupa. You could give Lupa, honestly, could be bumped up to T0, but you know, it is what it is. Brant is very good with quick swaps. He can go with like Carlotta and stuff like that, and Genshi, maybe even Frolova team. You can get that going. With Yao, maybe. Cheng Li, kind of same thing. You can go with Genshi. Go with Augusta. Go with Carlotta. Go with Uno. You know, they have a lot of quick swap capability, these two. Sakona, very good with Carthea. She's good with... Maybe you could run her with Zani. You could do Phoebe, Zani, and Sakona and probably do pretty good. You can run her with main DPS Uno, and she's core for her. Yeah, Sakona is very good. She's like an Arrow Lupa. So it's kind of confusing me why she's not up here with her. But I guess it's because Carthea is just at 80k DPS. But, you know, if you actually pay attention, Monofusion is pretty close to Carthea's team when it comes to, like, actually the clear times. But yeah, Carthea is insanely busted DPS-wise. Jeji, I don't agree with this. Jeji should be bumped down. She should be around Sanhua's level. Mortifi, she just doesn't work for enough characters. You have Carlotta, but Carlotta's at 62k DPS around that area. When you have Carthea, who's at 80k DPS, that's a big jump. That's like going no Sia to a Sia. Nah, it's less than that, but still. Phoebe, I mean, she only has one partner, so that's kind of why she's right here. Because Zani's right. That's why Jeji should be down here, because Phoebe's right here because she has Zani. That's it. Jeji has nobody else. Like, bro, what are they playing her with? Ling Yang? Like, bro, Jeji should be bumped down. That's a crazy bias. Maybe it's because of how easy Carlotta is. I just value that too much. But then you have freaking Genshi and 0.5. They don't care. I don't know. They just don't have the balance between hard to play and casual. Mortifi makes sense because Augusta released and she's insanely cracked. Sanhua still going strong. I mean, shocking. She's a GOAT. Slot anywhere pretty much, and she's just so fast. My GOAT Cheng Li, of course, like I said, just fits anywhere. And with an expert tag, actually goes up to T0, because if you can play her good, she gets a higher DPS boost because you're canceling her long animations, getting other actions done on other characters, and speeding up her rotation time. So, she's just a lot better if you can play her like a good player, or play her decently. You don't even need that much practice, really. It's not even an expert. It's more like, you know, solid. You know, be solid with her, and she goes up to T0. Lupa should be T0 too. She's not on these, she's better than these other ones. Well, not Phoebe. Phoebe should be T0 because Zani exists. I don't know why Jeji, bro. Never mind. Cantarella, Rosia. Honestly, I kind of agree with this. Rosia, you know, Havoc, Rover, and Rosia, they get crazy for speedruns, but it's not a speedrun list. You know what I'm saying? If it's not a speedrun list, I'm putting Rosia down right here, you know, pull value. And I'm keeping Cantarella right there. Keeping Yinlin right there. S Rover. Probably keep him right here because of his how limited he is, but maybe could go up to here. Donjin. If it was a solo list, she'd be a T0. Johnshin got a boost. I guess that's because of it, you know. It's not bad. Once again, I don't know who these characters are. Lumi actually should be bumped up because with a certain rotation, you can actually make Carlotta work pretty decently with her. You just need a lot of ER, so bump her up to like up in this here. There's niche. Bump her up one. S6 also gets 20% attack, so pretty good. Shorekeeper, always been such a versatile pick and still very strong. Even is actually best in slot for Frolova. A lot of people don't know that. Arrow Rover bumping up makes sense. Carthea, that's just kind of their one team. They could probably have some other options like, you know, now. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. Verena bumped down. I guess it's because we're getting Verena and Shorekeeper are losing value. With Shorekeeper being the better option of them, you're going to have, like, let's say you have a mono team. You have 2 mono teams. You need 3 teams for the TOA, pretty much. 2 mono teams. You have Cardathea, which is Rover, Shakona, her. Then you have Fusion, Changli, Lupa, Brant. And then you have Farlova team. Farlova, Shorekeeper, Cantarella. So Farina just goes over to some random other team and is not as important. It goes over to one of your weaker teams. Spectra Rover. Oh, okay. Spectra Rover's higher over here because that's in Zani's role, I guess. Yeah, so this is with Phoebe, I guess, and this is without. This is with the main DPS being Zani. That makes sense. Baji's down at 1.5. She's just too slow. Her buffs act weird compared to the other ones. You have to pick up a feather to get your buffs. Just not as good. She is slow. Feels very clunky. Yoo-hoo just doesn't have really any point in existing right now. Why does my screen keep glitching? I guess with the new update, they just threw a bunch of ads on the screen. Just, you know, to throw you off, I guess. So from seeing how buns the list is, you know? I'm just playing. Yanwu, nobody uses this guy, you know, but you can cope him like Jinxie or something like that, and hey, make it work. And that's just how Versity. We can kind of skim through Whimpering Wastes. So I'm gonna make this too long of a video. It's pretty much the same thing. Farlova's in her own tier. Cardathea should be honestly bumped down. She's worse than Gian. In Whimpering Wastes. She's worse than a main DPS Shakona in Whimpering Wastes, actually. Carla should be bumped down. You know, I guess we haven't seen enough of her. But Gian should be bumped up. There's no way Camila should be 2 tiers above Gian. Yao. He should at least get an expert tag +1. I mean, he has plunderers available to him. He has Yinlin, which Yinlin is under Jeji when she has AoE attacks, and Jeji has none. And she works with single target DPSs. Yinlin works with Yao, who uses plunder. She does too, and has AoE. So I don't know. It doesn't take a genius to know where to put him. You're saying Yao was on the same level as Ling Yang, brother? Come on. It's bad. This is very bad. I don't know what they were thinking with this. Yeah, that's bad. Gian should not be this low compared to Camellia. This is with Sigs. Yao should not be that low either. Yao should be bumped up to about right here or something like that, bro. Same for Gian. Brant's fine where he is as a main DPS because he doesn't have enough AoE. He has his scam where you can like hold your utility button and like scan waves, which is very good if you can line your anchor up. But if you can't, and you scatter the enemies around, because when he liberations, he just blows everybody out of proportion. And if you can't kill him with his basics fast enough, they're just going to scatter around and it messes them up. So, makes sense as a main DPS. But a sub DPS, my whole team right here, my goats, is 0.5. Which makes sense. Furlough is just in a tier of her own. She has her partners right here. My dudes are just all partners right here. They don't have a main DPS, but, you know, they kind of just, they dual DPS, and we got one little buffer right here that kind of DPSs with them, so. Chacona makes sense. Like I said, Chacona main DPS is actually better than Cardathea's DPS in Whimpering Wastes. And she rocks with Uno, too, which is pretty nice. Another thing Uno does for Augusta, she actually heals, so Augusta can actually benefit from Uno a lot from that, because then she enables more plunder healing ticks. Once again, Prydwens, why is my screen just glitching out, bro? Holy, the ads, I need to download an ad blocker or something where it's like, golly. Donjin is probably awful in Wiwa. I don't know. I don't see enough gameplay of her in there. Phoebe, I guess that makes sense. She only has one partner. Once again, Jeju should be below Yinlin, or at least bump Yinlin up. She should be below. She should be T2. You're gonna put Yao in T2, but not Jeji? Whew! Insane bias. Yep, this is garbage. This counts as forever with Phoebe, not Zani. We saw that. This is with Zani right here. Baji, clunky. Pretty much the same thing across the board here. Yeah, same thing. overall, it's a bad list. Actually, it's not an okay list. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's a bad list. There's a couple of things that are just impossible to miss. One of them would be Jian being good in Weewa and Yao being good at Weewa, but apparently they just flew over their head. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you know, it is what it is. I guess Camellia is just so strong. No, she's not. She's great in Weewa, but not 2 tiers above Jian. With that being said, you know, let me know you guys' thoughts on this tier list and what you would change. A lot of characters I actually don't have. I just go off, you know, gameplay that I've seen of them, and like, you know, mostly it's more top tier type of gameplay. I like looking at the Billy runs and stuff, like in the Fractious Source server. I like the more optimized rotations, not completely optimized, but you know, just good gameplay, and you know, stepping away from that 1, 2, 3. You know what I'm saying? But nah, it's not god awful. There's just a lot of bad things. There's the changes that are bad are awful, basically, and the other ones are fine. Not many expert tags anymore, huh? I feel like there used to be a lot of expert tags. Like Encore used to have an expert tag. But yeah. Let me know what you guys think. That'll be it for me. Peace out.